Good morning. It is Monday, July 29th. Here's what we're working on. City of Hamilton has boosted the West Nile virus risk from low to moderate.
Hamilton's Eleanor Harvey has won Canada's second medal of the Paris Olympics and first ever in fencing.
No big surprise here, but the results were huge. Deadpool and Wolverine dominated the weekend box office. Hi, friends. How are you doing? We haven't even had a chance to talk to each other in person before the show, so good morning.
Yeah, what's going on? Coming off, that is the best weekend of the summer right there, hands down. It's going to be hard to beat, Brian.
Didn't you love it? Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Oh, yeah, don't you love it?
So you thought it was hot?
On Saturday, yeah.
Okay, so
really hot.
Personally, I thought it was perfect. I did not find it hot. I didn't find it too muggy. It was just a nice summer weekend.
Yep. Okay. Officially, temperatures, because you have to do them somewhere, and they do them at the airport. So it was 28 Saturday, 27 yesterday. Humidex values into the low to mid 30s. So, and there was hardly a cloud in the sky.
It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, nice blue skies.
You're right. It was probably the best summer weekend we've had so far. Hopefully, we'll get more because we're still just halfway through the summer 2 months of July and August. We're getting closer to August. August arrives on Thursday, but we're going to have another gorgeous day today. Temperature today should hit 30, humidex of 36, sunshine, a little bit more cloud cover starting to encroach as the day goes on. So we'll call it a mix of sun and clouds, but once again, the winds will be light, very high UV index. Take care in that sunshine, and we'll talk about the details coming up. Checking traffic this morning, it's a little hazy. As you can see here, we've had a little bit more haziness starting to push in, and that is affecting our air quality. We'll talk about that coming up. But no problems on the roads there, the 403 and Waterdown Road. That's our exclusive camera. To some MTO traffic cameras, and we'll come around from Stony Creek at Millen Road. Looks fine there, both directions. Same top of the Skyway Bridge, Appleby line, Burlington to Oakville. Nothing going on this morning. Take it carefully, please. We'll look at weather and traffic coming up as usual. Right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, a 19-year-old from Dundas has been arrested after a hit and run in Long Point. Norfolk OPP say a driver struck a cyclist on Erie Boulevard in Long Point just before 9 on Saturday night and then left. A cyclist who is being treated for serious life-threatening injuries was taken to a trauma center. Hamilton police later located the driver. 19-year-old David Rayner now faces charges of dangerous operation, causing bodily harm, and failing to stop after a collision.
Hamilton police have found a firearm following reports of a possible shooting. Police say they received a report of gunshots just after 4 o'clock on Saturday morning in the area of Jackson Street West and Caroline Street South. There were no reported victims or injuries. Anyone with information or possible surveillance footage of the area is asked to contact police.
Hamilton police have arrested a suspect in the murder of a 37-year-old man last month. It happened June 15th at Connaught Avenue, where police found the body of Randy Pearden. Police say Alexander Law has been charged with second-degree murder. Law and Pearden are not believed to have known each other. Law is in custody on other charges and has been tied to other violent incidents in the Hamilton area. He was arrested last month in Niagara Falls after a daytime shooting in an East Hamilton neighborhood May 13th. An arrest warrant was also issued for him after someone broke into an apartment in downtown Hamilton on May 30th.
An increase in violent crime in downtown Hamilton has led to the closure of a federal tax court. The Tax Court of Canada, it was located beside Hamilton City Hall on Jackson Street. Statement says the immediate and permanent closure is because of, quote, ongoing security concerns for the public, employees, and members of the court. It's where disputes for things like income tax, employment insurance, and CPP were heard. The court has asked for a relocation progress to be accelerated. Tax court temporarily shut down last year because of an encampment. The court also pointed to a daytime shooting in the transit terminal around the block.
City of Hamilton has bumped up its warning about an increased risk for West Nile virus after a batch of mosquitoes tested positive. Simone Gavros joins us now from Hamilton's Bayfront Park with more.
Yeah, and this is the first time this year that the insects have tested positive for the virus. So this has prompted Hamilton's medical officer of health to bump up that risk from low up to moderate as of this Friday. Now, the way that this virus spreads is when an infected mosquito bites a human, and that's how that virus can make someone infected. The city says that trapping and testing mosquitoes helps figure out where the infected bugs can be found within the city. It also allows experts to record the amount of mosquitoes that have been trapped each week. Now, the city has already started a second round of larviciding treatments around Hamilton as part of its surveillance and prevention program. A number of other regions have also reported mosquito testing positive for the virus this year, including in York Region, Peel, and Niagara. Officials say that the best way to protect yourself includes wearing bug spray that contains DEET, wearing light-colored long-sleeve clothing, and removing any standing water at home, which can act as a breeding site for the bugs. Now, this morning, I reached out to a couple infectious disease specialists to figure out more about what this increased risk means for the people here in Hamilton. But for now, something's back over to you, Annette.
Okay, thanks very much, Simone. Parks Canada says the wildfire in Jasper continues this morning to burn out of control, and it's still a threat to the town itself. The update comes as evacuees wonder when a highway through Jasper National Park is going to reopen. Parks Canada says incident staff are working on a plan to reopen the critical east-west route that runs through the park and the town of Jasper. Over 20,000 people were evacuated from the area last Monday. There is no timeline for when they can return. And about 300 firefighters are on the ground in British Columbia around Slocan Lake. They're fighting a complex of wildfires that surround either side of the community. Crews say the area has been dealing with a hot, dry period for a very long time, and they're also dealing with gusty winds and low humidity. Slocan's mayor says the skies were filled with thick smoke as she drove out of her community behind the other 360 people who evacuated. In health news, a new study suggests the rate of high blood pressure disorders in pregnancy has increased in Canada in the last 10 years. The findings have been published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal. The research found that rates of hypertension and preeclampsia increased by 40% between 2012 and 2021. The study's senior author says high blood pressure is dangerous for both mom and fetus, but can be identified with regular monitoring and prevented with low-dose aspirin in women who are identified as being at risk.
All right, let's get into the sports line. Day three, the Olympic Games underway from Paris with expectations. Oh, they're high in the pool. Canada's Summer McIntosh already with a silver medal, having a chance for gold in her signature event. That is the 400-meter individual medley. Yesterday, though, it was all about Hamilton's Eleanor Harvey, who made Canadian history, winning our first ever medal in one of the OG events of the Olympics. That would be fencing. Harvey came in 14th in the world, ranked 14th in the world, and facing the third best fencer, an Italian Alice Volpi. Harvey led this one from start to finish. Love the look on her face when she realized that she has secured a medal. It's the best right there. Yes, that's me. You got it. So Eleanor, who now lives in Calgary, wins the bronze, picks up Canada's second medal of the Games, and we'll hear from her next hour. And she has concerns about her mom, so we'll check in with her about what's going on with Ma. So what about our women's soccer team? After winning their opening match against New Zealand after Drone Gate, FIFA came down hard on the organization Saturday, suspending head coach Bev Priestman and her two assistants for a year. But the big one is they docked the team 6 points from the Olympic tournament, 3 of which they secured in the opening win. Priestman released a statement saying she is heartbroken and apologized to the team for the impact this has had. With many thinking their Olympic tourney is over, these ladies had other ideas against host France, who also happen to be the second-ranked team in the world. After falling behind in the first half, Jessie Fleming would tie it in the 58th minute. And then deep in extra time, 28-year-old Vanessa Gilles jumps on the rebound and gives Canada the game winner. They beat France 2-1. Amazingly, still have a chance to reach the knockout stage. Heading into the final game of the round robin, they have to beat Colombia, who took down New Zealand 2-0 on Sunday. If they beat the Colombians, they will make it into the quarterfinals would just be unreal. So proud of them. So let's bring up the medal board with Japan and South Korea leading the way with 4 golds each, 7 overall. The U.S. is the leader of overall medals with 12. And there's Canada sitting at 2 with a silver and bronze. And as I mentioned, hoping for possibly our first gold this afternoon in the pool as we look ahead. Summer McIntosh is in the women's 400-meter individual medley. Marie-Sophie Harvey also in the women's 200-meter freestyle final. Women's basketball, Kia Nurse leading Canada over France. Artistic gymnastics, our men's team, the event final, they qualified 8th, so they are into the final. And when it comes to rugby sevens, Canada is up against China. That is just a little taste of all the things that are going on in Paris today.
2nd and 10 for Bull. Edmonton's going to bring everybody wide open. Hakulamanu, he's got some space and he's off to the races. Hakulamanu down to the 30. He's going to take it to the 10. He won't be caught. Touchdown, Ticats! 2 weeks in a row.
Ticats hopes for a second straight win, looking good as they were in Edmonton to face the winless Elks. And what a game for Luther Hakvananu. What a game for Bo Levi Mitchell. The two hooked up for this 66-yard and catch and run for a touchdown before the end of the first half, and that was just the start for Mitchell. Oh, did he have a game. He tossed 4 other TDs for 5 on the night, the most in his Hall of Fame career. Now leads the entire league with 17 on the year, 316 yards in the air for the Tabbies. This one all Hamilton. Only good news for Edmonton was Niagara Falls native Trey Ford, who the Elks finally brought in at quarterback in the 4th quarter when they were down 41-8. He was fantastic, throwing 3 touchdown passes. Look at this, getting away from the Ticats defense and be able to complete the pass. Great stuff from Ford. Ticats win it though, 44-28, their 2nd straight win. They're now 2-5, return home and face the first place Alouettes Friday night at the Donut Box.
So it is swinging a fly ball. Deep right field. Grossman going back, and Varsho's left the yard again.
And finally down at the Dome with the trade deadline looming tomorrow. The Jays already clearing the decks with many leaving town. They had a great weekend though against the reigning World Series champs from Texas, Dalton Varsho. That was his home run in his 2nd straight game. He went yards, so did Vladdy. Really turned his season around in a 10-game hitting streak. This is his 6th home run in that streak, 19th moonshot of the year. Jose Barrios is great, pitching 7 innings, only giving up a run. Jays beat Texas 7-3. Sweep away the Rangers, their first at home this season. Things get tough today though. Doubleheader in Baltimore against the first place Orioles.
Now there's the overall numbers for it.
Good morning, 6:12 on this Monday, 29th. Yeah, already 29th of July. After a picture-perfect weekend, let's get you into the morning here. Starting with traffic, 403 and Waterdown Road. Once again, no problems really there or any other of our MTO traffic cameras. These are Ministry of Transportation Ontario. Starting in St. Catharines, east of Lake looks good. Millen Road, we'll look at the 403 junction. So Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us out of Hamilton on that camera. Here's the Ford plant, and then we'll flip ahead to Cawthra. As you can see, everything's moving nicely. Well, the sun is finally up. It is sleeping in a little bit later every morning. 6:07 was sunrise this morning, so the sun's up. We do have a partly cloudy sky. Temperature right now 18. The winds are calm, and they've been pretty light. I mean, almost calm throughout the weekend. Relative humidity is up there at 95%. Air quality is now in the moderate risk category for both this morning at 4 and for the afternoon as well. What we have is an area of high pressure slipping away from us. That's what gave us such a gorgeous weekend. What we have now is a squeeze play between 2 low pressure systems, one to the east, that one approaching. That's what's going to bring us some instability by the time we get into tomorrow and Wednesday. We could get some thunderstorms, some showers as well. But no, not today. Today we're looking at sun. 30 for Niagara, 30 for Hamilton, but a bit more cloud cover will start to encroach as the day goes on. So in a lot of areas, it'll be a mix of sun and clouds, light winds again, humidex about 36 for the day, so another hot one. Tonight, temperature only falls to 19, so staying above seasonal. We'll have partly cloudy skies, a little cooler for Kitchener and Guelph. And then tomorrow, here comes the instability. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. Temperature dips a little bit to 28. Humidex once again in the mid-30s, so it's going to stay fairly humid, but at least the temperature comes down by a couple of degrees. But there's that chance of showers and thunderstorms thunderstorms actually for the day tomorrow. So out the door, 29th of July already. Temperature right now sitting at 18. It is partly sunny, and of course we have light winds. And we'll look at the long-range forecast for what's to come this weekend. And as we get into August coming up, we'll talk about that. Annette, Tim.
Okay, what's to come in Chit Chat? Louis is in for Emily this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Did you see the Deadpool Wolverine movie this week?
No.
Yeah, I guess we are some of the only people who didn't, because
Yes.
it made a bunch of money at the box office, breaking some records in the process. Speaking of Marvel, one of their big stars is set to return as a brand new character. And speaking of returns, Dexter. If you've been following this show over the last decade or so, you might have thought, how many times can it end? How many times did it come back? Well, Michael C. Hall is coming back as Dexter once more. So we'll fill you in on all of that stuff coming up later on in Chit Chat.
I'm excited about that. Okay.
Isn't it possible?
Yeah.
I didn't see the end, but I know you're a big fan. I didn't think
Spoiler alert.
Okay. Well,
Anything is possible.
I think the series has been over for a number of years, so we can spoil the series.
Yeah.
Yes, but not the series that came after.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
lost.
We'll catch everybody
it
up.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
See you
figure
in
it
a
out.
bit, bud.
Okay, coming up in business news as we deal with the rising grocery prices, a survey shows a divided opinion on the root causes of it, leaving many to wonder who's to blame. Just after 6:18 on your Monday morning, and the Canadian dollar is down 4 basis points in overseas trading at 72.26 cents U.S. Gold is up $7.50 an ounce. Crude oil is down by a penny to $77.15 U.S. a barrel. Checking midday trading in Europe, markets are up in London and Frankfurt, down a little bit in Paris.
Off to Asia we go. Markets are up across the board in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. What about North American markets? How did they finish the trading week last week? Pretty darn good, I'd say. Look at some of those gains for the TSX on Bay Street, up 206. Dow Jones up 654. Gains in the tech sector and NASDAQ. Let's see if they can keep the gains going when the markets open, kicking off the last week of July a little bit later this morning.
Statistics Canada says grocery prices are up more than 22% in the last 4 years. Who's to blame? Earlier this year, a Leger survey found almost 30% of Canadians believe food inflation is mainly due to grocery stores trying to increase their profit margins. Another 26% think it's mostly caused by global economic factors, while 1 in 5 blame the government. Experts say politicians have limited tools to influence retail prices, despite often oversimplifying the issue to appear as though they're addressing food inflation effectively.
Umicore says it halted spending on a $2.76 billion battery materials plant. This is in Eastern Ontario. The Global Materials Company says it made the decision because of scaled back expectations for growth in the electronic vehicle market. Last October, the federal government committed to put more than $551 million towards the project. The Ontario government said it would spend up to $424 million in capital costs. Umicore says it is conducting a strategic review of its battery materials and will provide an update in the first quarter of next year. The plant was set to produce enough battery materials to support 800,000 vehicles a year. Production was set to begin in 2026 and create around 600 jobs.
Vancouver-based Lululemon has paused sales of its new Breeze Through line after customers said it was unflattering. Many of the pieces in the line of tights and other activewear have a long V-shaped waistband in the front and a Y-shaped seam in the back. And there were complaints the pieces produced a whale tail look. Lululemon says the pause will give them time to make necessary changes for the delivery of the best possible product experience.
Breaking news, we got another bronze medal.
Really?
Synchronized diving this morning.
Awesome.
They're already off and running. Third medal for Canada, so lots more on that coming up on your Monday morning, along with Brian's going to have a look at the traffic and how about that 7-day forecast. Our favorite pastime, looking ahead to the weekend
To
on
the
a
next
Monday.
weekend.
6:24, it's Monday, 29th of July. Let's look at our MTO traffic cameras. Notice the sun's coming up, obviously. Here's the QEW in 7th, but a bit of a haze. The relative humidity is pretty high this morning, about 93 to 94% around us. A little slow now, top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, normal volume, just building here. Appleby line looks good still. Sheraton, no problems. Dipping into the 403 at the 407 split, no problems there either. So nothing going on the roads. Temperature this morning, something happening there. Our temperature has just fallen by a degree. We're now sitting at 17 for Hamilton, 20 Grimsby, Mississauga, 21 into Toronto. Seasonals for an overnight low are 15 degrees, so on the mild side this morning. 26 for the daytime high. We beat that all weekend long. Those are our sun times and our records for today. How about a walk this morning? Your pal's waiting. Oh, come on, don't pass the hydrant there. You know you always check that out. Go over there. Go. Partly sunny skies, light winds, and temperature right now sitting at 17 degrees so far. So climbing to 30 today. Humidex of 36. We'll see a little bit more cloud cover starting to push in as the day goes on. 19 tonight to partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, we lose that sun pretty much and we'll get clouds, chance of showers, chance of thunderstorms for the day. 28 feeling like 36. We still have showers for Wednesday. Temperature, though, 29, 30 again as we get into August on Thursday. How about Friday? Chance of a shower in 27. That chance of a shower lingers into Saturday, but 27 with a mix of sun and clouds both Saturday and Sunday. That's your forecast. Annette, Tim.
Okay, thanks, Brian. The ancient Romans' first highway, it's called the Appian Way, has been added to the United Nations Cultural Heritage List.
So it's a pretty big tourist attraction in modern Rome. The Regina Viarum, or Queen of Roads, connected the capital of the early Roman state to the southeastern town of Brindisi. It is the 60th site in Italy to be recognized by the UN Culture Agency, UNESCO. The road was named after a Roman censor who started and completed the first section as a military road to the south in 312 BC. I've actually never been in that area before.
And when it comes to traffic chaos, I think it was more goats back in 312
goats,
BC, maybe not actual traffic that we needed somebody like Brian Wood to kind of look after.
Yeah, goats.
Yeah.
Goats. There's a goat alert.
Sorry, you haven't been there?
No, I
haven't
have
been
not.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Brian will have a look at our roads and what we can expect. It is the last few days of July, looking like another good one after a fantastic weekend. Hope you had a good weekend. We'll see you in a couple minutes.